Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm doing another Shop Your Trash today. I'm doing them every Monday this month and possibly beyond. We'll see how we go. But yeah, I'm back to do another one. So I've got a pile of trash goodies next to me, and what I wanted to start with was, I don't know if you'll remember from last week, but I had some chocolate box liners and I had them as strips, and I was going to sew some fabric scraps onto them to make, I was going to make belly bands actually, or side tucks. So I went ahead and basically sewed it like I would a snippet strip. So this is one of them. As you can see, I didn't really think much about it. I just shoved the fabric scraps on and just did a couple of lines of stitching. So that's one. This one was like so, and so I ended up just cutting off this little piece because I didn't think the pink went with the neutrals of this. And what I'm going to do is turn this into a little snippet cluster thing. This can decorate a pocket with a bit more decoration. And this one I think I'll put into my stash of neutral pieces, because I'm thinking, again, similar to this, I really like how they look when you cut them down into, to decorate pockets. So I'm going to come back to this one another time. For now I want to focus on these two. And yeah, we're just going to do something with these. I thought that could be, just a relaxed way to start off, get me in the groove, so to speak. So I'm going to start with this little cluster snippety thing first. And I have thought about these two off screen beforehand, just to, I'm using this as a warm up, to get back into the Shop Your Trash zone, so to speak. So I've got this floral die cut, and I thought I could just have that just popped on it. And this will decorate pages. We can decorate pockets with these tags. Like, there's lots of things that we could use clusters and snippets on. But at least this, gets it moved along and decorated. So yeah, the belly band idea didn't really work out. I think if I was making belly bands like what I'd originally intended, I should have put more thought into, what fabric scraps I was using and have them be more like coordinating with each other, I guess. Because I went random, and I'm glad that I went random because I actually got a bunch of stuff used up. That was the point of it. But because I went random, I didn't really feel like it worked together as a belly band. And instead, I feel like they work best, cut down into little things. So straight away I have a cluster, and they feel really fun and padded and squidgy and yummy. Okay. So as I say, this is going to decorate a pocket, just because, when I cut off that pink bit, I just really liked how that looked as a piece, really. And then I've got this in my stash. I made these quite a long time ago, little clusters. And I thought, how perfect does that look on there? And that gets another thing used. God, I'm trying to think, when I made these clusters, it was at least a year ago. And can you believe I've still not used them? That's the thing with me, is I make all these things on video and then I forget about them, or other things take my fancy, and then I don't end up using a lot of what I make. Certainly with like clusters and embellishments, but I'm trying to get into the habit now of actually using these things bit by bit. Same with my scrap box, I'm not ignoring it anymore. So expect to see, well, actually, here it is. I am bringing it to the table again. So, straight away, very easily, we have something that will decorate, probably a pocket. That's what I had in mind for it, but yeah, there you go. So that's two things already. And that is where the thinking kind of ended. Well, it didn't end, it just, you know, the rest of it is more just a natural shop your trash, I suppose. Natural? Is that the word I want? Just go with the flow, I guess. So I'll just show you what I've got. I've got this, I think this was, oh, this is the back of, I think I got some kind of stamp in this, but I liked it for the buff brown, or craft brown colour. I've got a couple of things in here that I think I want to cover. This is like a fold out riding spot, but I'm not such a huge fan of this this flower here. I'm not a big fan of how it looks. I know some people will love it, but for me it doesn't work for me. So I'm going to cover it. I've got this, which you know, wants some kind of focal point. I've just got this, which I'm going to use as essentially this be the back of it and decorate, you know, this side and maybe make some journal cards or something. I'm afraid I've got a couple more of these sticker backings, but I'm going to do something different with them today, so that might be interesting. And then from last week, I don't know if you remember, but I had these two left over which I didn't get time for, so I'm going to do these this week. So we've got the postcard, which I really like the back of, and we've got the like envelope pocket thing. So I think I'm going to think about this one. What I'm thinking for it is having some kind of like matchbook thing, because you know you could write inside here. That is perfectly fine to write on, and it's kind of already folded up like a matchbook kind of look. So I might as well go with that. So let me I'm just going to fold it so it's straighter. Perfect. Right, so we don't need as much of this piece, so I'm going to cut that quite a bit off actually. There we go. So we've just got a little lip which is not straight, so let's try that again. I'm thinking this cardboard probably isn't straight, so that's better. So that will be our little piece at the bottom. And then we don't need as much overlap here either. So I think we just want to cut off something like that. Let's try that. Let's see how we go. So we basically just want to have a little bit of an overlap. I want a little bit less. Oops. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, that should be plenty. So, right, now the time to say it's not straight. Okay, I think that's better. Just wanted to straighten it up a little bit. I'm just going to bone folder that down so that it stays straight. Okay, so there's lots of ways that you can do these little matchbook things. I think I want to use brads on mine. What did I do with them? Here they are. So I'm going to grab my awl, and I'm thinking I want to go with these big ones, just because I don't really use these very often, if I'm completely honest. Just go with a couple of gold, that will do. So I'm going to have the brads go all the way through. So I'm just going to make a little mark where I want things. Normally I don't measure, and it's probably overkill, but whilst I'm here. So we're about 2 inches. So if I do the brads at a 1/2 inch, whoops, and 3/4 of an inch, that should be just fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. So right, let's flip that up. Right, let's take the brad all the way through then. Just wondering about the back. Actually, I tell you what, I'm not going to take it all. I'm just going to put the brad in the middle, in the front, sorry. Like so. Sorry if it's not totally clear what I'm doing. The thing with the Shop Your Trashes is, you know, you're just kind of going with it you know, going with the piece that you've got in your hand, and you just kind of, half the time, it's just a case of going with what you think would be the right thing for it, you know. Just need to make those holes bigger, I think, make it easier. These are quite big brads, so I'm hoping this will look quite smart, if there's room for the brads. Let's see. Should be just about space. What I really need to do is get some brads that are like an in-between size. So I've got these almost gigantic brads, and then I've got Tim Holtz teeny tiny little brads, and both of them have their uses. But I tell you, I could really do with an in-between size. Oh, how smart does that look? Okay, and then I'm just grabbing this tape. It's not really necessary, but I'm thinking if I just pop that over the brad legs, it keeps them in place, just gives them a bit of extra protection. And if we decide to use this as a pocket, it means that, you know, the brad legs won't get in the way of that. I like the gold and the brown together though. That is very me. Okay, so we've got that. Now, obviously we need this to stay in place now. Normally I would take the brad legs all the way through, and the reason I didn't was because I don't know what I'm going to do with the back of it. So, just want to get some glue. So essentially the brads are just for decoration in this case. So, where you get a natural gap in between here and this top flip up thing, sorry if I'm not making much sense, we're just going to put some glue. I'm hoping, whoops, this will work fine on those brads. So yeah, maybe I should have put the brad legs all the way through, but because they're so big, I don't like the look of them. Like, I didn't want it to be, you know, yeah, I didn't really want them to come through on the back, you see. I thought this would be a bit neater. I love how it looks though. I just need it to stick. I'm just going to hold it for a moment, just see. Okay, that's that. And then whilst that's drying, just pop that in, I need to cover this. Now I'm going to bring the camera down a bit because you're a bit far away, aren't you? Alright, I think that gets you in a little bit closer. Now I had somewhere, I've got these stickers that Carol Ann from Cadge Crafts sent me, and size wise and colour wise they're actually pretty perfect. So I'm wondering whether I could use this, because I'm thinking for the, you know, we've got this nice brown, it can be, you know, woodland, it can be botanical, very much my themes. So that will get the top decorated. So I think this is a sticker. Yes. Lovely. And I don't know how sticky these stickers are, so I'm just going to add some glue just to be sure. Don't want it coming up. I'm just going to bring it to me so I can see that I'm putting it on straight-ish, straight-ish, middle-ish, straight-ish, you want it, all the ishes. Lovely. And we've got a bit of a blank gap at the bottom, so could we, and it might need to put some more glue on the bottom there, but I'm wondering, ooh, I'm thinking label. Yeah, that should be fine. I wanted to make sure that it didn't get in the way of, you know, the brads at the bottom, but we should have room for a little label. Let me find one that I like. That's it. That just fits perfectly there, look. That is gluing. I just do think I need to just let it sit for a bit. And then on the inside, all I'm going to do is a bit of stenciling, and then that can be, you know, you can write on the whole thing then. As for uses, it could slip into a pocket if I were to cover the back, and then you could even write on the back maybe. Or it can be actually glued down and be like some kind of little tuck spot as well as a flip up. So until I know where it's going, I'm not going to cover the back, but I could cover the back if I want to. But for now, really very simple matchbook writing spot. So let me find somewhere to keep these. Got a pile going. Okay, what should we do next? I should really come back to this guy. So I think I've got a few big things, like this big squirrel. Equally, I'm just wondering whether to cover it with this digital or use the squirrel. I'm leaning towards the squirrel, just to make it a bit more interesting. So I want some kind of book text, I think, to go behind it, or even music sheet, you know, something like that. Or even, I've got a few of these. How would that look? That would be interesting. These are from Tracy Fox. So they're collaged papers, but they're quite neutral. So I did also grab a few of these. So what I'm thinking is, right, so this was an envelope thing, wasn't it? So I'm just going to pop some glue on this flap because I'm going to use that to stabilise this envelope. If you weren't here last week, I got one of my debit cards in this envelope, and it's got quite a nice texture actually. And I did tea dye it, but you know, I did tea dye it, but I'm going to cover it up now. So, right, I'm thinking the easiest thing, we like to keep things easy, don't we, is to just pop some glue onto this front part of the envelope, stick the digital down, and then just cut off the excess. It seems a shame to cover up the linen, but I'm doing it anyway. It gets these digitals used as well. Again, I've had these in my stash for about a year. And, right, so I think I want that a bit. Again, I'm just kind of going for it. And you can see with the tea dyeing is that this, you know, this back piece, you know, everything ran, so. But being a pocket, you know, it'll just get glued down so you won't see the back of it anyway. Okay, so easy as easy does. We're going to just cut very carefully, not to cut into our pocket. Just cut around it. And then obviously I need to cut the opening back into it, don't I? Using my blunt scissors, so I'm not going to accidentally cut into the pocket. It's very unlikely that I can accidentally cut into it, really. And then how do I go about getting the flap back in? Because I liked the shape of it. So I'm just going to open it up. Oops. And I'm just going to, as carefully as I can, just follow it around. I'm sure there are probably easier ways to do this, but this is what I do. I don't mind if it's not perfect at all, because we can just ink around it. Get your lid on your glue, Justine. There we go. So not bad. We've made 3 pieces already. This one won't take much, I don't think. Obviously we've got that squirrel. Yeah, it feels good to be doing this so I'm doing it every Monday, sitting down to, you know, get some trash used up. I did say to myself I would do it all of July, maybe beyond that. Depends how much I can get through. But I am trying to make a concerted effort to. Oh, he looks lovely on there. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, I'm making a concerted effort to get out my trash at the beginning of a project as well. The only reason I'm doing this in July is because I have actually got quite a lot of junk. I have a whole box, a big box, full of stuff that wants repurposing and upcycling, and I'm adding to it all of the time. So I just felt like I wanted to just make a concerted effort this month to get used to using it again, I suppose is the thing. And then from there it will become easier when I'm starting a new project to just, you know, you then know what you can do with the pieces because you've already thought about stuff in the past, and, you know, just generally get used to a different way of working. But I'm in between projects at the moment, ephemera wise anyway. Oh, I love him. I took that from, I think it was a magazine, National Trust magazine. I think he was on the front cover, so cutie. He wants something with him though, doesn't he? So excuse me as I knock you a little bit. I was wondering whether I could use a frame or something behind him just to lift the background a little bit to make it more interesting. As like almost like a frame, I suppose. I would get that used. Why not? And then we can add, you know, a word or a label or something. It's pretty easy to me, isn't it? So for this, because it's a big piece, I might as well just use the Kalau. So I've done it again. Been so excited to dive into my trash pile that I haven't asked how you are. I haven't barely spoken to you apart from just getting into it. But I really hope you're doing well. And if you are joining me this month to shop your trash, then I would love to know. I know I've convinced a couple of you already to dive in. So that's always nice as well, just to know that, you know, I'm being kept company. That's always fun. And I am going to use the art glitter on this one only because I want to get into those edges, even though it's a big piece. So that's that. But yeah, I'm really glad a few of you are diving in, and I love these videos. I can't tell you enough. Not only are they fun to watch, in my opinion anyway, you know, when I'm watching other people, I love them. But they're just so much fun to make, you know. So how lovely does he fit in that corner? It's like he was made for this pouchy envelopey thing. Lovely. I do need to get around the edges with the glue, but I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Oh, I love him. Beautiful squirrel. I've never seen a red squirrel in my life. Here in the UK we have grey squirrels, but the red squirrels are on some islands around the UK, such as Brownsea Island near Poole in Dorset. They have red squirrels. I have been there, but I didn't see any red squirrels. The grey squirrels, unfortunately, in our history, chased all of the red squirrels away, which is a bit mean, but that is what happened. So I'm thinking a label, and I was thinking a word, but actually I could use one of these pieces from Tracy Fox, which are a word and a label in one, because they're you know, definitions. Maybe. I've got branch, which is okay. I don't know if I've got anything else that would work. I've got botanize, but it doesn't really go with the squirrel, so it might have to be branch. I've got fern, but no, don't want to use a coloured one, so yeah, branch it is. That'll do me. I'm not fussy today. Well, not as fussy as usual. I don't know whether to put anything behind it. No, I actually just really like the simplicity of it. I was thinking like tea bag or something, but I just really like, I like the simple today, apparently. So go about there. That's nice. Lovely. And just wondering if it wants anything else on here. I feel like it wants something just to make it a little bit more exciting. Don't really know what. Potentially that, or something else snippety, for want of a better word. You know, I've got little like tickets and things just to, I don't know, bring a bit more excitement, I suppose. But I don't think anything there is going to help me. Not today. I've got little like mushrooms, but no, not that one anyway. What do we think? Nope. Kind of liked the stamp. It's the almost same sort of colour as the squirrel, but I don't know if I'm adding it just for the sake of adding something, or if it actually does. I do like it though. So I'm gonna do it. And I don't know about anything today. That's it. Although, oh, I don't know actually. Might want it that way. So I just spin it round. That's better. Whoops. I'm just gonna see if I do want a word. Obviously we've got that definition down there, but we might want a word on it. MDM. There or something. Nope. no, we do not. I can always add to it later, but I think for now I'm pretty happy with that as a nice big roomy pocket. As I say, I do want to get in with a bit more glue, but for now, simple, simple. And massive squirrel, isn't it, really, when you think about it. Right, that's 4 pieces. I think we're doing okay for time. So these. Now I promise I'm going to do something different with these this time. So this one, I was kind of thinking to, so I really like this on the back of the sticker packaging. It's got all these little, well, essentially what the stickers were, all these little mushrooms. But I just really like that as a picture. So instead of turning it into a tag, which is what I did last time, why don't I use that almost like mushroom identification thing. So I'm just going to chop it off, chop it down, sorry, just to yeah, just to get that, and then that can be used on something, can't it? That's what I'm thinking. Those edges. You know, that can be a mushroom identification card or something. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just wanted it to get to that point. So that can be used on something. So I'm just going to ink it. You know, just to stop me doing the same thing over and over again. And then, yeah, that could be used to decorate a pocket or a journal card or something. So I'm just going to put it into my stash as a decoration to use. And then what I'm left with is this piece. Now this is on pink card, and I wouldn't normally use mushrooms and pink together. So I could fussy cut that out. Yeah, fussy cutting. I bet you didn't think I was going to do that today. And then this one, I was thinking, again, I quite like it, you know, for the mushroom and stuff. But I don't just want to make tags all the time. So what I was wondering is, what if I made some kind of flip up notepad? So for that, I'm going to want some card. But I think I want a big piece of card, because what I'm thinking is I would have a piece up here. Yeah, I'm going to find a big piece of card. I'll be right back. Unfortunately, with all that scrap busting that I did, I'm going to make more scraps. But that's okay. So I've got this Tim Holtz. It's an 8x8, so I think size-wise it's going to be pretty spot on. So I'm going to start by cutting this to the size of my piece, which I think is about there. If it doesn't fit exactly, I can always, just wants coming in just a teensy bit. I can always trim things down is what I was going to say. How's that? Yep, perfection. Lovely. Right, what am I doing? That is going into scraps now. And then I want my, sorry, I'm just leaning all over the place. I realised I wanted my scoreboard. So I'm just holding that to, I mean really, as I say, I want to essentially cover up this top bit. I don't want it to say Mushroom Town. So I'm just going to make a mark as to where I'm going to score it. That's it. It's not on a score mark though. That should do it. Yep. Okay. This is purely me making it up, which is why I'm not giving you instructions right now, because I'm just trying to figure out what it is I'm actually doing here. Yeah, so then you would flip up to get that, and that would be what it looks like on the back. So as you can see, this doesn't go all the way down, so I do need to take off a bit at the bottom. Part of me is wondering whether I should be getting rid of these pink lines and where it says Strange World. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just gonna cut it to the size of this cardstock and take it from there. See how I, see what I think after done that, knocking things everywhere. See how it looks after I've done that bit. Okay. I'll just straighten that up. Okay, let's see what we think. I'm just looking at these pink lines. It's not that I don't mind the pink lines, it's just that the borders don't match each other, but I'm trying to decide how much I care, essentially. And part of me is like, why am I fussing over tiny, tiny little details like that? And I just don't think it's necessary. So on we go. So I'm just gonna, I'm just inking around this because you get the white core of the paper shows through. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to glue just this top section, I think. Again, totally making it up, so hopefully this works. Okay. Whoops. How many times do I get glue on my desk? Every video, right? Every video. Okay, so I'm just popping that on. That's one way to get rid of the writing at the top, which is essentially all I was trying to do, was just get rid of the brand name and that. And then we want to obviously cover the back, which I can do, I could just do with paper, couldn't I? What have I got in my treasure trove of scraps? What I want is just something big and brown, I think is the what I'm looking for. I think this is where I've got a plain stuff. I'm trying very hard to use scraps of things before diving into, oh, so close, you know. I'm going to put some washi on it. Yeah, I'm trying very hard to dive into scraps before reaching for whole sheets of things, even if it means things are a little bit trickier, or take longer doing it that way. It's just better all around, isn't it, really, to use your scraps first. So yeah, I'm trying. And I'm trying to get this glue out right. So I'm just gonna pop some glue on. This is really just to cover up this backing, but I'm using tea-dyed paper, so this will also create a little writing spot as well. Lovely. So let's cut around this. I hope it's obvious what I'm making now, because I'm still figuring it out and still yeah, I just didn't want to make tags every week with these sticker packaging, because as I said last week, I've got about 6 of these. Obviously I've got less now, but at the time I had 6, and I didn't want to come on and do the same thing every week with them, because, well, that would just get horrendously boring for those of you watching and for me crafting. So just taking it through the trimmer, because I realised that yeah, it's not straight at all. Sorry about that, it wasn't straight at all. I don't know if I didn't cut, I don't think I cut this straight in the first place. So right, that's that sorted. And last but not least, I'm going to use this mushroom washi just to cover that up. I absolutely adore this washi. I'll be very sad when I don't have any more left. Actually, I really like it. I can't remember where I got it, actually. I really can't. Okay, so we have the starts of, finally, a flip-up notepad. I'm just gonna give that a press down. There we go. So, you know, your papers will go in there, and I'm just trying to decide, how do I want, like, how does a flip-up notepad work? Would I put holes in it? Or, oh, I suppose, actually, the papers could just be sewn in here, in the back, so it would be into the back piece, wouldn't it? Okay, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Like I said, making it up. But we do want something on the front, because that's a bit boring up here. So I don't know. Oh, I tell you what, I've got the label. Oops. I've got a label saying field notes, I think, somewhere. I saw it earlier. Aha. Perfection. Oh, I love it. See, Tracy Fox labels just always, always save the day. So let's pop that on. And then I need to get some papers for it, don't I? So this can be your field notes about mushrooms. Very nice. Yeah, that's much better. See, more interesting than doing a tag. I love tags, but we did those last week, so this is good. Do I want to do anything else to it? Not really. Obviously ink it. But yeah, that's just a flip up thing, and you can even write here. I could put a little stamp. Ooh, I don't use my stamps very often. And I remembered I have mushroom stamps. So what should we do on here? I could do a little baby one. Don't think I've used that. Oh, actually no, I prefer this shape. So let me get my stamping platform. Sorry, oh goodness. I'm the world's clumsiest crafter, I really am. Just dropping things everywhere. There we go. It's because I'm excited. Hopefully this stamp's okay. Do it jaunty, and then it doesn't matter if I don't get it straight. Oh, that is the funniest mushroom shape. Oh, that is the funniest mushroom shape ever. That actually looks like a mushroom that you cook with, which is probably not what I was going for, but oh well, it's done now. I probably should have tested it before stamping it, but never mind. Let's draw attention away from that a little bit. Let's grab my words. And we can put a little something next to it of saying, what should it say? Mushroom, garden, wood, something like that. Okay, a word wasn't seeming right, so I'm actually just going to cover that up. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that stamp. I mean, it's fine, but I was more wanting it to look like, you know, a toadstool that you get, or a mushroom that you get in the woods, rather than one that you put on your plate. No matter though. So I'm just going to cover it up with, I've got an inch circle, and that will give me just, well, yeah, just hide that. Lovely. And then I've got a mushroom fussy cut instead, which I can just put over it, you know, to make it look like, well, yeah, it's a little clustery thing up here or something. That's better. And I'm thinking to stencil this. Just lightly, because sorry about my squeaky chair, which I probably should have done before sticking that down, but never mind. And I'm just going to do it as lightly as I can, just to give that tea-dyed paper a little bit more interest, because it was a bit plain, I think. A bit more. Okay, yeah, that's just giving that a little something, and then probably if I ink around it. I know it's these little details that for someone like me just has to do, you know. But it does, I do think it makes a difference, definitely. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's sort these papers. So just gonna get a few of these. Now these are all different shapes because these are my scraps. So I'm just gonna layer them on top of each other. I'm gonna use all of these and then it gets them used up. So I think that's 7 sheets of thin copy paper, which will be just plenty for a notepad, although I don't want to use that one. So 6. 6 pieces. That one had, you know, some kind of imprint from something, so these ones I think are okay, yeah. So let's get these in. They're a bit bent out of shape, so I'm just trying to get a straight-ish edge, but we'll go with that. Okay, so I'm gonna see about tearing as many of these in one go as I can. I can probably do 3 at a time-ish. Lovely. So that's the sides done. And then lengthwise, they're all pretty much fine apart from that back one. So I'm just gonna just tidy that one up and that one. And some of these things I can keep, I suppose. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is just run a zigzag stitch right the way across these papers, which I'll do later. I can't be bothered to get the sewing machine out, and I think I probably need to change the thread. And then I'm just going to glue where I've got the stitching. I'll just glue that straight into the back there, and then that will be a very simple little notepad. Yeah, I think that came together okay. Never made one before, so there you go. I think, oh, I was going to say I think I should probably leave it there, but I'll do one last one because I think this one will be quite easy. So as I say, I wasn't really a fan of that, and when you open it up, the lines are the other way. So to make it work for me, I wanted to use this this piece of book page, so I'm just gonna tear that down there. Oops, sorry, chucking things everywhere today. I'm leaving a slight border. And then I'm just going to ink around that and then just cover the front. And this is going to be a pocket that will also flip up for a writing spot. And I'll probably make that the last piece today, as much as I could definitely go on and on and on. I do think that's probably enough for one video. And just like last week, anything that I've not done, which is actually only a couple of things, I'm going to roll them on to, not next week because I have something different planned for then, but for the last week of July, I think. So let's just slip that on. It's just one of those things. Sometimes kit pieces or paper pad pieces don't work for your projects, and rather than it just sitting in stash for another year, sometimes it makes sense to just cover it over with something that you can use, and then you can get enjoyment from it straight away, especially if you don't really like the piece as well. And then I think all that I need to add to this is a label, because I mean that book page is stunning, isn't it? So I'm going sciencey, I think. Choice though. This is quite a small piece, so I feel like could work. I like these simple decisions of just label, works, where to put it, there. Job done. Yeah. So yeah, this is going to be a pocket, and it's a flip up writing spot as well inside. And that is my last piece for today. I'm actually going to go middle with that one. Actually, I quite like how that looks. Yeah, nice. and I have added to the scrapbooks, but I have also taken away, so we are making some headway with the scraps. And now that I'm used to using them as well, it does get easier. So there you are. Very simply, flip up and writing spot. So let's, what did we make? Because I feel like, I don't know about you, but that felt like a whirlwind today, where I just felt like I was just moseying along quite quickly. So flip up writing spot. This will be our flip up notepad from the sticker packaging. So those will be glued in there, and then you've got space to write here if you want. And that gives us something different to do with that sticker packaging rather than just making tags all the time. So that's that one. I was going to fussy cut that, wasn't I? So I'll just put that in the fussy cuts. But we've got a little embellishment piece that I can use in something. So I'm just going to pop that into where I keep cluster type stuff. We have got, if I haven't glued it shut, the little like matchbook writing spot piece. I love how that looks actually. And this is what we did in the beginning, didn't we? So we've got a piece to decorate a pocket and a little cluster. Lovely. And we have got the squirrel pocket. And as you can see, I do need to go in with a bit of gluing, but I'll do that now off screen. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing those pieces come together. Isn't it funny how when you actually sit down to do stuff, it can very easily, I don't know, things just kind of go together. Like, things are very different, but to me they look like they go as a set again. It's really weird. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's just because I know that I've made them together. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that Shop Your Trash. I hope that you're joining in with me this month. Please say you will. And yeah, I'll come back next week. Well, I'll come back next week with a different project. Something I've been wanting to do for a while, so that will be next week. And then the week after, I'll come back to do similar to this, where it's just a bunch of mismatch, a jumble of different things. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and thanks so much for watching, and we'll speak soon. Bye for now.